Two women automated the exact same $300 monthly investment. Emma started immediately. Sophie made two temporary decisions that seemed completely responsible. 35 years later, Sophie had fallen 6 figures behind, even though she had contributed only $8,100 less. How can $8,100 in missing contributions create a 6-figure gap? And which of Sophie's two decisions caused most of it? Emma and Sophie are both 27, same $300 a month, same diversified index fund, same 35-year timeline. Emma starts immediately. Sophie schedules the same investment, but 15 months later. Her car had died, nearly emptying the emergency fund she wanted to rebuild first. She sets the date in advance and starts exactly as planned. Then, in year 5, Sophie makes a second responsible decision, one that looks far more expensive. Together, those two decisions leave her with a permanent 6-figure gap. Compound interest explains the size of the gap, but it does not explain the surprise. Which decision caused most of it, and why? Emma and Sophie met during hospital orientation. Emma worked in operations. Sophie was a registered nurse on a cardiac floor. They earned almost the same salary and met for coffee every second Friday after payday. One afternoon, Emma turned her phone across the table. $300 a month, she said. Starting today. Sophie looked at the fund, then at her own banking app. Same fund, she said. Same amount, just not today. 6 weeks earlier, Sophie's car had died. The replacement, the insurance deposit, and 2 expensive repairs had reduced her emergency fund to almost nothing. Sophie spent every shift watching ordinary mornings become expensive emergencies. An empty cash buffer did not feel theoretical to her. Sophie calculated that $300 a month would rebuild her $4,500 cash buffer in exactly 15 months. Then I start automatically, she said. Emma built systems for a living. Put the start date in now, she said. Don't make future Sophie decide again. So Sophie did. 15 months later, her first $300 automatically bought the same fund Emma already owned. That detail matters. Sophie did not keep postponing. She created a deadline and followed it. But while Sophie rebuilt her safety net, Emma's first 15 contributions had already entered the market. $4,500. Not a fortune. Not yet. After Sophie starts, their systems look almost identical. The morning after payday, $300 leaves each checking account automatically. Neither woman tries to time the market. At 30, Emma jokes that her account does not look life-changing. Sophie pulls out her phone. Mine looks even less life-changing. Give it time, Emma says. Through the end of their 4th year, time does not seem to do much. That is how compounding hides. At the beginning, the women do most of the work. The growth is small and easy to dismiss. The first interruption already exists inside Sophie's account, but there is no red warning beside it. No bill arrives. No warning appears. Her screen shows only a modest difference, small enough to believe she can catch up later. And because both balances are still relatively modest, the difference feels recoverable. It always does in the beginning. But Sophie was about to make a second decision, and this one would look far more expensive. In their 5th year, Sophie's mother turned 60. For nearly a decade, they had talked about Italy. They postponed it for work, family, and once because Sophie's mother needed surgery. This time, Sophie did not want another reason. She could not pay her share without touching her emergency fund or carrying a credit card balance. So she opened the investment app and paused the $300 transfer for 12 months. That would free $3,600. At coffee, she told Emma. Emma did not tell her to cancel the trip. She asked a different question. Does the contribution have to go all the way to $0? Sophie thought for a moment. It's 1 year, she said. I still have almost 30 years after that. And honestly, that sounds reasonable. The trip happened. In Florence, Sophie and her mother laughed together after missing a train they were certain they could catch. Sophie kept the photograph on her desk for the rest of her career. The memory had value. This script is not going to pretend otherwise. 12 months later, exactly as planned, Sophie restarted automatically. She paused once, lived part of the life she was saving for, and resumed. But her account now had 2 empty spaces, 15 months at the very beginning and 12 months in year 5. 27 missing contributions. $8,100 in total. That was the visible cost. That was the only cost Sophie could see. Her account statement showed nothing else. Now let's put numbers on those 2 decisions. Using $300 a month at an illustrative 8% return, we're comparing only their investment accounts, not taxes, inflation, total net worth, or the emotional value of the trip. Emma contributes every month for 35 years. At 62, her account ends at approximately $688,000. Sophie waits 15 months and later pauses for 1 year. Her account ends near $578,000. The exact difference is $110,394. Sophie contributed only $8,100 less, but those missing contributions cost her more than 13 times that amount in final wealth. And the 2 decisions were not even close to equally expensive. Nearly 63% of the gap traces back to the delay before Sophie made her first investment. The later vacation pause accounts for the remaining 37%. The earlier delay lasted only 3 months longer, but every missing dollar at the beginning lost almost the entire 35-year timeline. That is what the account statement never showed her. Compounding does not only care how much arrives, it cares when. Most people think an investment pause ends when the contributions restart. It does not. The monthly transfer restarts. The missing time does not. Sophie could replace the $8,100 later. What she could never replace was the extra time those dollars would have owned. That is the hidden rule. A temporary pause in contributions can create a permanent age difference inside the account, which is why every planned interruption needs a restart date, and, whenever possible, a minimum contribution that stays alive. Sometimes money must solve today. Medical costs, an empty emergency fund, or a trip while the person you love can still go. The lesson is not never pause. It is never let a pause become invisible. Sophie did one thing right. She scheduled the restart before the pause. Emma asked what most people never ask. Must the contribution fall to $0? What neither woman built was a separate account for the life they wanted to live. So protect 3 things: a restart date, the smallest contribution you can maintain, and a separate fund for predictable experiences. Before choosing, see both prices, today's dollars and tomorrow's growth. At 62, Emma and Sophie sit across from each other with coffee again. The fund was always the same, and whenever both women contributed, so was the monthly amount. Sophie looks at the 2 balances and shakes her head. I thought I only missed 27 payments. Emma turns the phone back toward her. You did. I thought Italy was the expensive part, Sophie said. It was the part you could see, Emma replied. Sophie did not make 35 years of bad decisions. She made 2 understandable ones. She rebuilt the emergency fund that helped her sleep. She took the trip and kept the photograph. Both decisions had value. Both had a price. But inside the investment account, the price grew from $8,100 to more than $110,000. Life should not always wait for compounding, but compounding never waits for life. Protect the start, plan the pause, keep a minimum alive when you can. Sophie did not lose $110,000 because she went to Italy. She just never saw what 27 ordinary deposits might have become. This is the Ben Factor.